Hello students, we are going to discuss about software engineering and the basics and what are the phases that comes in the very early stages. But prior to that, I want to discuss something about why it is called software engineering. Engineering in general consists of certain processes. Like if we talk about electrical engineering, it follows certain processes. If we are talking about automobile engineering, it also follows certain processes. Similarly, softwares also follow certain processes. The first thing that we see is why there was a need to follow certain processes. In the very first step, if we go back to 1970s and prior to that, lot of projects, particularly software development projects, they were running out of costs and they were beyond their schedule, way beyond that. So 80% of the projects were running into losses, or they were running out of time. So the people thought about that why don't we introduce certain processes. So primarily all our processes in softwares were followed from IEEE. IEEE means Institute of Electrical and Electronic Engineers, wherein lot of things are defined. So if I want to define software engineering in terms of IEEE, it is called the systematic approach to create, maintain and retire a software. Okay. So what do you mean by create? Like the example, if you want to create a car, what do? We follow certain processes like the assembly line introduced by Henry Ford. If we talk about other things like electrical engineering, they also follow certain processes. Similarly, in software also we follow certain processes. And the very first step that comes in is the feasibility analysis. Okay, feasibility analysis. In feasibility analysis, we do particularly three types of feasibility. The first one is economical. The second one is technical, and the third one is behavioral. Now, what do you mean by economical? Economical primarily involves the cost and the benefits. What are the costs? Like there could be direct costs, there could be indirect costs, there would be fixed costs, there would be variable costs. Similarly, there are benefits like direct benefits, indirect benefits, fixed benefits and variable benefits. If the benefits outruns the cost, then the project or software is profitable. If it does not, then it is loss making. So we take a go ahead decision whether that is economically feasible or not. That is like either yes or no. If the cost is more than the profit, then it is a no. If the other one, if the profit is more than the cost, then it is a yes. Next thing is the technical feasibility. In terms of technical feasibility, whatever the users are requiring, whether we can give that in a technologically possible manner or not. If it's not, then we are going to ignore, saying at this point of time this project is not technically feasible. Last but not the least, the third one is the behavioral feasibility. In behavioral feasibility, we see whether people are ready to accept the software or not. During the earlier days, people had reservations to use softwares. So what did they do? They say, no, we are not going to use. The unions particularly had a lot of issues because it was eating out people's jobs. So we have to see if the users are not going to use the software, then there is no point making it. So these are the reasons, say whether it is behaviorally feasible or not. Looking into all these things, finally we take a go ahead whether we are going to make a software or not, and that is covered in statement of work, and that is broadly defined after the feasibility analysis is done. The next thing is the requirement analysis. In requirement analysis, we go to the user and find out what are the informations or what are the things they look for in a software. So all the requirements and that is coming from users are getting documented. Like for example, there are different stakeholders. The business analyst is going to go and talk to the end users, and they are going to find out what are the things they are looking for, and then they produce a document called SRS. SRS stands for Software Requirement Specification. Software Requirement Specification. It is a very legal document wherein it contains what are the users that looks for. So these are the primary things that we saw with respect to software engineering, feasibility analysis and requirement analysis. There are other steps also, design and all. We'll be looking into that. Thank you.